But most creativity in the world is focused on finding solutions. Our special guest, Greg Mortenson, is a powerful example of what can happen when people are able to harness their energies with common goals and accomplish great things.
Well, I wrote this book called 3 Cups of Tea. My daughter, Amira, she's 14. She can rap with 3 cups of tea. I'm not going to embarrass myself here. You know some kids here, you'd probably like to see me rap, huh? You know, we all have an innate desire to help people. If we really want to help people, we have to empower people. There's a very big difference between helping and empowering. And empowering and empowerment begins with education. There are about 128 million children in the world who are not in school. About 78 million of those are female. And if we wanted to, we could eradicate global literacy in the next 12 years. Perhaps the biggest, I think, travesty is that even today, modern-day society, there are millions of children who are modern-day slaves. It's more rampant than any time in history. There's absolutely no reason why any child in this world today should be a slave. And there's no reason why every single child on this planet should have their right to go to school. Today, we are trying to solve and grapple with something called poverty. But the only way we can cure or help poverty is to touch poverty and to taste poverty, to smell poverty, to hear poverty, to be with poverty. We can never solve poverty from a think tank in Washington, D.C. One day I walked behind the village. I saw about 84 kids sitting in the dirt. There were about 4 girls and the rest were boys. Most of the kids were riding with a stick in the sand. And although I'd seen a lot of poverty in Africa, when I saw those kids, I spent some time. I was so amazed. And one day, a young girl named Chocho came up to me and she said, "Could you help us build a school?" So I promised. I said, "I'll help you build a school, and we'll help you also. What's most important is to get teachers and education." My mother is an elementary school principal in Wisconsin. She invited me to come and talk to the kids. And heaven forbid you go to an elementary school to get any help. Anyways, I spent 2 days there. It was really inspiring. When I got done, there was a 4th grader. His name was Jeffrey. And he came up to me and said, "I have a piggy bank at home, and I'm going to help you." And I thought, what can a 4th grader do? Anyway, 6 weeks later, Westside School raised 62,340 pennies. It wasn't celebrities, wasn't movie stars, wasn't sports heroes, wasn't adults, but children reaching out to children halfway around the world. And they do it with the pennies. And so today we have a program called Pennies for Peace. And for lack of better words, it's kind of going bananas lately. 3 years ago it was in about 280 schools, and now it's in 5,400 schools around in this country and 24 other countries in the world. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, a penny can buy a pencil. A pencil really is nothing, or a brick, but what education does, though, is it gives a person hope. The more I do this, I'm convinced education has to be our top national and international priority, and including education for girls. One of the biggest problems, though, is there are simply too many people on this planet. The number one way to reduce population without doing anything else is mainly female literacy. In the last 4 years, there's been over 2,400 and even much more schools bombed, burned, or destroyed, or shut down by the Taliban or militants. What's interesting, though, is 2/3 or more of those schools are girls' schools. So why do a group of big bad men armed with Kalashnikovs, why are they so terrified of a little girl going to school? I think it's because their greatest fear, it's not a bullet, but it's a pen. And what they fear the most is if that girl gets an education, grows up, becomes a mother, the value of education will go on in their society. Women bring life into the world. It's women that nurture life. And in many ways, women are the really promoters of education in any society. But you know what? If God is on anybody's side, God is on the side of the widows, the orphans, the refugees. It says that even if the world ends tomorrow, I will plant my seed today. And I think if we can listen to our elders, glean and impart their knowledge and wisdom, but then truly believe that children are the road and path to peace, I do think that we can have a better place all around the world. So thank you very much, and God bless you.